Hi everyone, Dawn here from Shall We Stamp, and I'm gonna load in the comments and see who's here. All right, let's see what's going on, who's here. It's thundering and raining here in Florida. I'm sure you all are having different weather. Let's see if we can get the comments loaded in here. I think we're good. So we're gonna wait a couple of minutes. It's 7:02, so we'll give it another minute or so to let a few more people pop on. And it's a week away from Christmas, which is pretty wild. I'm not sure where this year has gone, but it's gone pretty fast. Excuse me. You know, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, where did everything go? I have been busy today actually, and yesterday I've got a couple of videos done, and I've been working on my paper share, which I'll be advertising tomorrow. I'll be putting that out on Facebook as well as my blog. And today I have been working on a all-day retreat that I'm going to be offering on January 25th, and it's also will be available to go. And I will be using the Dress to Impress suite for that retreat. And so I've been working on making cards and cute little projects with that. So I'm trying to get that. Maybe not have all of the cards and everything made, but at least enough that I can get some pictures taken, some little snippets of the pictures, and get them out so that I can start getting people to register. I can start taking reservations, and then I'll send everybody a PayPal invoice the first of the year, and then place the order on January 3rd. So. But today we're going to be doing another fun fold, which you know I love to do. And I think I won't be holding a Facebook Live next Tuesday because that's Christmas Eve. So I'm sure everybody doesn't want to see me. They want to, yeah, New Year's Eve would be Tuesday because we do Riley the dog, and I have therapy at one of the assisted living on next Wednesday, New Year's Day, which we're going to do because we don't do anything on New Year's Day anyway. So I won't do a Facebook Live for this next week, for the next 2 weeks, and I'll put that out there too, just because of the holidays. So Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve I will not be doing a Facebook Live, so I'll come back the third Tuesday. It's 7:05, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do a fun fold, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. We're going to make 2 of them, and let me get my chair situated, and then I'll flip the camera down. Let me go ahead and change my camera. This is the card that we're going to be making, and I've got the envelope, and you can see that I've decorated the envelope, but I have it there because this is a card that I'm sending to one of my girlfriends for her birthday, which is Christmas Eve actually. So this is the card that we're going to be making, and it's a really easy, but look at the fun fold. It opens up like that. Isn't that neat? So I'm covering up my sentiment. So that's another fun fold card that we're going to do, and then I decorated the envelope. I didn't use the same paper, but this is some of the birthday paper that's been retired. Send that to her, get that out in the mail tomorrow since I'm doing the class tonight. So this is what we're going to be making, and we're going to make 2. I'm actually going to, let me put that out of the way. I'm actually going to make one for a female and then one for a male. So I'm going to bring the paper trimmer in, and let me open up the arm to this. So this is a really easy card. I just love these fun folds. So I'm putting the new, our Stampin' Trimmer out, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the cardstock that we need. Now you're going to need two pieces at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we're going to use the Rococo Rose. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up at 4 1/4, and we'll go ahead and pull this down and cut this. So we need 2 of those. So I'm going to set this one off to the side. And then we'll come back and move this over, and then we're going to cut this at 5.5. So we're going to cut one, and then we're going to cut the other one, bring that over to 5.5. You know what? I think I just cut that one. Let me see, because I'm marking it at 5 1/4 instead of 5.5. And I've done that once. I've done that before. So okay. Now we're at 5.5. And then this should be 5.5 as well because it's an 11 piece, right? So there, we got 2. So we're good to go. So these are the 2 that we're going to be working with. So you're going to do 2 5.5 by 4 1/4. All right, then we're going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to cut this at 3 3/4. So we're going to go up to 3 1/2, 3/4, and we're going to cut this at 3 3/4 by 11. Let me get this over here. All right, so this is going to be 3 3/4 by 11. And I'm going to set that there because we're going to need that paper later. And we know it's 11. So now we're going to score this. So we're going to score it at 5 inches. Yeah, we're going to score at 5. So we've got it on the 5 mark. And remember, on the scoring blade, it's the one that's the gray one. So we're going to score at 5. And then we're going to slide this over to 10. We're going to slide it and do this at 10 inches. Get that right up to the 10-inch mark. All right, and then we're going to score it at 10 inches. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for that. So let me move the cutter out of the way. Just to let you know, I hope y'all saw, I'm sure you did on Facebook, that they uploaded a lot of items into our clearance rack today, and some of them are up to 60% off. So hopefully, if you haven't looked at that, you might want to take advantage of it, because there are some really good prices on there. Some items that are really good. They put a lot of embossing folders on there. Tons of embellishments. There's some designer series paper and ribbon and all sorts of stuff. So make sure you check that out. And if y'all don't have it, if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. And you can go to my online store at shallwestamp.com. And this is the monthly host code. If you make a purchase with that, then I will send you a free gift at the end of the month. All right, so I'm folding this at the 5 mark, and then I'm going to fold it back. That's a little crooked, so let me make sure. Let me get back in here. Let me adjust my white piece, because I want to make sure that this is even, so it's off just a little bit. All right, so we're going to fold it in half, and then this one we're going to fold backwards, and then we're going to fold it back. So it's kind of a Z, but we're going to do it as a tall one. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to take our base, and we're going to, let's see, I'm going to flip it this way because I want my card to open like that. Okay, so we want our base there and our 1-inch strip down at the bottom of the cardstock. All right, so I'm going to flip this around so that y'all can see it. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this and go ahead and attach this to this one piece here. So let's go ahead and get the adhesive on. And then we'll move forward. This is a really easy card. I tell you what, I'm loving these fun folds. So again, as I said before, if y'all have any recommendations or suggestions that you'd like me to do for cards, I'll be more than happy to do that. And we're just going to place this on the one card base. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to flip it around this way. Okay, that's right. So I'm doing it for you guys. So this is the piece going to fold up like that. All right, now the next one we're going to do, I'm going to put this off to the side for just a minute. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead, so while we've got this one out, we're going to add some tear and tape right here on this 1-inch strip. And the reason I'm doing that, hang on 1 minute. Let me zoom in so that we can get a little bit closer with the camera. Hang on. And there we go, that's good. I'm going to put some tear and tape, because if it's going to be opening, we want to make sure that it's, it's not going to come off, as far as being stuck on here. So let's go ahead and add a couple of strips of the tear and tape, and then we'll take that off in just a minute. And then we'll move on to the next thing we're going to do. Oops, hang on a minute. So we're just going to put that right there. I just have this thing about tearing. I know it's called tear tape, which you should do, but for whatever reason, I just like to cut it. I don't know. That's kind of weird, isn't it? I've got a little piece here, but we'll flip that over. Okay, so we got 2 pieces of tear and tape there, so we're going to leave that there. All right, and then the next piece that we're going to do, and as you can tell, this is obviously the one for a female. I cut a piece of the In Color Designer Series papers, the 6x6 stack. And this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, which is our next layer down. So every time you do a layer, you want to drop it down by 1/4 of an inch, which then gives you an 1/8 of an inch around your card base. Did you know, I bet y'all, we didn't realize that in school that you were going to have to use math? Did you realize that in crafting we would have to use math? Can you believe that? Because, we have to know what quarters and 8ths and 16ths are and all that stuff. I used to be a loan officer, and I didn't know about 8ths, to be honest with you. So, but our interest rates were all priced in 8ths, and so that took me a while to figure out the 8ths. But I did learn it, and that's a little crooked, so let's take that off and do it again. Yeah, so the 8ths are something that I had to learn when I was in business, so I'm going to lift this up. Hopefully it doesn't tear. I've got it a little crooked, and I really don't want it to be that way. I was too busy talking, as usual, and we'll see if we can pull him up. And I'm sitting down, and I really need to get I should get one of those stand-up desks, you know, the things that you can pull up and stand at it if you don't want to sit down. I think that would probably be a good thing to have when you're doing tutorials, and you want to be able to see everything. Okay, there we go. I just want to get it. It was a little off. Let's pull the whole thing off. See, if you don't put your snail down and don't put a whole lot, you can lift it up. There we go. All right, so I always do that. I want to make sure it's straight. There we go. Now it's going to be straight. Okay, so that's good. All right, so we've got that on there. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a, and I've already cut this out. We're using a 2 1/4 inch circle. I punched out of the glimmer paper. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to punch out 3 balloons. I'm going to set this off to the side for just a minute. I'm going to pull the balloon punch in, and we're going to punch out 3 balloons using the balloon punch. And I'm using the Rococo Rose, so I'm going to cut, and I'm just going to do 3 large ones. So I'm going to cut one from here, and you can put as many balloons on here as you want. I'm just going to put 3. And we're going to do a piece of purple posy, and then I'm going to do a piece of the Seaside Spray. Don't ask me why, I just did. I was trying to look at colors to go with it and keep it feminine, and I wasn't too keen on any of the other colors, and since this was an in color, I figured it's going to go with it, right, since it's in that packet. Do y'all ever have issue times when your punch, this little thing wants to pop out? Mine seems to do that a little bit more than I prefer. Okay, so we have 3. So we have 3 of our balloons that we're going to use, okay? And we're going to attach these to our sparkly little 2 1/4 inch circle. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marker, and let's see, I'm going to put this one in the center. So I'm going to put the, I'm going to do a little white mark, probably like here. And that just makes it, you know, gives it some shadowing. And let me think how I'm going to do this one. This one, I think I'll do this way. He'll be on that side. And then the blue one we'll do here to give it, make it look like it's coming alive. Okay? So that's our chalk marker. I didn't realize, I looked this up today. This thing is only $3.50. I thought that's a pretty good deal. So I'm going to have to order some more of these. This is the only one that I have. But I didn't realize they were so inexpensive. Okay, so we've got our balloons. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them over. And I'm going to put some snail, because we're going to use some white baker's twine. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to check and see. Oh, hey everybody! Glad you're here. I just pulled up the comments. I had the screen switched over. Hope y'all are doing well. Okay, so we've placed a piece of some snail adhesive on the back, and then all I'm going to do is take some white baker's twine, and this is something that is definitely a staple that you need to have. And I'm going to probably cut about 3 inches. It'll probably be too big, but we'll trim it off at the bottom, at the end. This is probably one of those staple things that you want to have in your craft room, right? And then we're going to tie a bow. So let me cut some off and tie a bow. Put that off to the side. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to attach the baker's twine to my adhesive and make my little tail to my balloon. And we'll do the same on this one. And then we'll do the same on this one. And then I'll trim these down once we get them together. And then I'm going to tie a white bow, and I probably should have tied this one a little bit longer. We'll tie a little bow that we're going to add to the top once we get these attached. So let me go ahead and tie my bow. I'm glad you all are joining me this evening. I hope everything is going well and y'all are ready for the holidays. I can't believe I didn't even think about it until I heard it on the news, or somebody said something about Christmas is in like a week. I'm like, oh my goodness. But if you weren't online earlier when I started, I won't be holding I won't be holding the Facebook Live next week because it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, because I figured people are probably going to be out who knows what. So anyways, we won't be doing it for the next 2 weeks, but then we'll come back the following week after New Year's. Okay, so there's my bow. All right, so now I'm going to add some dimensionals. So I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on each of my balloons. And this is going to pop them up. So let me just do that. And I'm going to put one on top of the string just to help hold that on there. Whoops, I'm bringing the balloon with me in my fingers. Like my nail polish, I got my nails done today. Look at that, isn't that Christmassy? It's green with some glitter. I had bought the nail polish from the salon, and I bought the glittery stuff from, I think, somewhere else. But anyways, when the guy did my nails, he was shocked. He thought it was so pretty. And I didn't want to do red because everybody does red. So I want to be a little different. All right, so I've got my dimensionals on the back of my balloons. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in, and we're going to attach, I haven't attached this yet, so let's go ahead and attach the balloons. I'm going to attach the balloons to the glimmered circle, and that's the 2 1/4 that we cut out. And let me get these things out of the way. And I'm going to put this one in the center since that's the color of the cardstock. So I'm going to put him up a little bit high, and then we'll set the other ones right next to it, and then we'll attach this to our card, and then we can go ahead and tie our bow and then do our sentiments. And all right, and we're going to put this one, I guess we'll do this one here. Let me see if I can get him underneath there. I'll go down just a little bit, get our tails down that direction. I don't want to push too hard because I don't want it to stick to the paper. And then this one, the purple posy, we will put to the other side, and we're going to put that one under here as well. All right, so there we go. So those 3 are on there. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our this base here. So I'm just going to, since the balloons are on dimensionals, I'm just going to pop this up on, I'm not popping it up, using snail. So we're just going to add some snail to the back of that circle, okay? All right, so we're just going to put that here. Let me get my strings right. Get them over here a little bit. I probably should move this guy over. Hang on a second. I'm going to lift him and turn him just a little bit. Let me flip it my way, sorry. Let me just turn him just a tad. All right, now he's, yeah, well, they don't want to let, okay, there we go. All right, let's do this again here. I want this one up a little bit higher, and I want him to come in a little bit at an angle so I can get his tails all together. Actually, I'm going to bring him down to be even with the blue. Okay, sorry, you're looking at my fingers. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. Let me flip it this way. All right, so now we're going to place a little glue dot to hold those guys. I cut those a little bit short, but that's okay. It'll still work. All right, so we're going to put a little glue dot, and I'm just going to roll that up with my finger, and I'm going to pop it down here just so that these little guys will hold on to that so that they don't fly away. All right, so far, so good. And then I'm going to take this little bow, and we're going to add a glue dot to him, and we're going to attach him. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to put him here or down in that section. Let's see. What do you think? Should we put him there or put him like up here? Well, they're not quite together. Let's put him down. Let me put the glue dot. I just rolled it up again and just sticking it to the back of the baker's twine, and this is the white baker's twine. I think I'm just going to set it down here because those little threads look a little funky. So let's just put it like that. All right, so we're going to add him right there, okay? Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach this to here, all right? We're going to peel off the tape, and then the tear and tape, we're going to tear that off, and we're going to get this on here, and then when we're ready, when then we open the card, it's going to open like that, okay? So I'm going to have to turn this around for me, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to hold this down, because you know how the tear and tape is, right? Once you stick it on there, it's stuck, and you are not going to move it. So what I have found that works, I'm going to stand up so I can see. What I found that works is I'm going to hold this with my thumb right here so it doesn't stick to my paper until I know that my front is lined up, my front of my cards, and it looks like they are. So then I'm going to go ahead and just set that down, and there we go. Okay, so now it's on there, and that's how our card will open. Isn't that cool? I tell you, I just love these fun folds. I'm going to get that in the camera so you can see it. So, all right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to do a sentiment, and we are going to use the, I have it here somewhere, happy birthday. We're going to make this a birthday stamp, and we are going to use, oh, I brought ink for the other one, but for not this one. Give me 1 second. Forgot my black. We're going to use the Memento Black, and then we'll we'll cut the sentiment down. So I'm going to just stamp it right here on this scratch piece of paper here, and then we're just going to cut it down and make it into a little banner. We're going to stamp that there, and this is from the Itty Bitty Birthday set. This is a nice set. It's a 2 stamp set if y'all haven't seen this, and I don't remember. There's quite a few stamps in here, but this one's got a lot of birthday. No, this is a 1 set, I think. Is it? Yeah, this is just the one. I was thinking of the other one. So it's 16 stamps. All right, so we've got that. Let me move this out of the way. All right, let's cut this down, and I'm going to trim this with the trimmer. Hang on a second. Let me pull that. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Have y'all seen this little baby trimmer? This is a little baby trimmer that if you join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator January 3rd through March, then you get, this will come in your kit along with a paper share. So what I'm going to do, I love this little guy. You can't put the full cardstock in there, but it's good for cutting small pieces like this. So I'm just going to trim this down and make a banner out of it. Let me get him in here. And this is like a guillotine cutter, okay? So you just whack them in there. And we'll just even this, make this one a little bit shorter. And then I'll cut a little flag on it. I probably could have done that first, but it's just really cute. This is good if you want to travel and you just need a little paper cutter to go with you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim this up here by hand, and then I'm just gonna cut a banner. This is how I was taught to make banners without using a punch, and I never knew how to do it before until someone showed me this, and I thought that was pretty good. All right, let me move my mess out of the way. Okay, so I think what I'll do, I'll probably set him off to the side, but we're going to pop that up on dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and put, we'll put 3 dimensionals on here. Now let's just, all right, so let's pop that on there. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. All right, now the inside, we're going to go ahead and stamp on here. Happy birthday. Let's just stamp It's Your Day. So I guess we're going to do that in black too, but I think what I'm going to do is stamp off so it's not quite as black. It's not quite as black. And we'll stamp that right here. And the nice thing about this, and the other one I'm going to do 2 sentiments, but the nice thing about this card is you've got lots of room if you want to, you know, especially if you're going to give it to someone and you want a lot of people to sign. So, right, so that is our birthday card. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that cute? I love this card. I love these fun folds, and I just think they're so much fun. All right, so the next one I'm going to do is, and there you go. Okay, so it's 2 pieces of cardstock at 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then your designer series paper is 4 by 5.5. And then you're going to use the 2 1/4 circle for whatever you want to punch out, and then your balloons. And then your whisper white is 3 3/4 by 11. And you score at 5 and 10. All right, so there's our female card, one for female. Now we're going to pull in and do a masculine card. Pad. It's one of the ones, and I think it's the ones that it came out last year, and I think it's moisten the ink. It's this stamp cleaning pad. I don't know if y'all have seen that or not. The next one we're going to do is going to be the same type of card, but we're going to make it into a masculine card using a piece of the perfectly plaid cardstock. So we're going to bring this in. So this one I'm going to do Night of Navy. Now we do need to cut our paper down. Look, we're going to use our little paper trimmer. See here? So we're going to cut this at 4 inches. And then we're going to cut it down to 5.5. So I can't use this one because I don't have 5.5. That's okay. That's good if you want to just do some little small trimming. I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. I apologize. So we're going to be at 5 1/4, which is right there. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. And I didn't do it on the other card, but I'll show you what we're going to do with this one. The piece that we cut off. This piece right here, we're going to use that one. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut my whisper white again. Oh, you know what? I just realized I just cut that off. That wasn't too bright, was it? I needed that for the other card. So we're going to cut our whisper white down to 3 3/4. Let me get my cutting blade back in here. So we're going to do 3 3/4, 3.5 3/4, right there. And at 11, get that guy out of the way. And then we're going to score at 5 inches and 10. So we're going to score at 5. And we're going to move this over to 10. And we'll get him lined up to the 10 mark and score at 10. So again, fun cards. Okay, so this is going to be our masculine. So again, we're going to fold it at the 5-inch mark and use our bone folder and get it straight. And then we're going to pull this one back where we scored. So again, you can see these are pretty easy cards. I think people are going to be quite pleased if they get this card. All right, so let's go ahead and attach this to the, this is Night of Navy, and this just shows how we can take the same layout and make this for a masculine card. And we're going to lay that right on there, okay? And then that will be how we open it. Okay, so we're going to set that off to the side for, well, no, let's go ahead and put our tear and tape on here since we've got it. Sure, y'all leave me a comment on your thoughts about this card, and if you, whoopsie, I tell you what, this tear and tape's thick, man. You can hardly get it off your fingers once it sticks to you. And if you don't mind, share the video. It helps me to reach reach more people. I would greatly appreciate it. And it helps me. I did draw just before they used the comment picker for Facebook, and the name that was drawn was Sherry Moman from Texas. So Sherry, if you're on or you're watching the replay, reach out to me and let me know so I can get your gift in the mail to you. So we've put our tear and tape on here, so we're going to set this one aside. Now we're going to use, this is that Christmas paper, right, from the plaid, but I still think it's going to work for a masculine card. So we're going to go ahead and instead of, I'm going to move this one off to the side, we'll put it right there. So I just cut just a plain old Whisper white circle out. Instead of doing the glimmery thing, I just did a white one. And then we're going to cut a balloon from, I'm going to do the gold, which should go with that, right? So that's going to pull the gold out. And he'll probably be the center one. So he'll be the main one that we want to look at. So we've got that, and then again, I'm going to do one in the Night of Navy. So we'll punch out the balloon in the Night of Navy as well. Have to turn this upside down. I've got, I don't know, I guess it's getting old. I'm getting arthritis or something in my wrist, and it's about to drive me, I mean, not my wrist, but my thumb right here. It is driving me crazy, and I've been putting CBD salve on it or whatever, however you say that, and it's helping. And then I bought one of those copper gloves. It's got the copper lines through it. And that really helps. I guess because it's putting pressure on it and it just feels a little bit better when I do that. So, all right, so we've got our 3 balloons, and we're going to do, I think this is going to be so cool. We're going to put him in the middle. We'll put that one right there. All right, so we're going to get our chalk marker out again. All right, and then we're going to make our little lines for our balloons. So we'll just draw one on this side. I love this. This is shaded spruce. I love this color, this green. I used it for a lot of my Christmas cards, and I just love it. I just love that color. Let me put this here so I don't forget to use that. All right, so we're going to just move on and go ahead and do what we just did before with our balloons. So we'll ahead and attach some adhesive, and then you'll see the difference that the colors, just changing the colors on this card, how it makes it, gives it that masculine look. So let me pull out my baker's twine, and we'll just cut off some snips. I'm not measuring, I'm just guesstimating, and then we'll trim them down, because the other one, I think I cut them a little too short. And you can't go wrong with white baker's twine, right? And it's really inexpensive for what you get on a roll. You all checked out the clearance rack. I looked at it this morning and was quite surprised to see all the goodies that were in there. I didn't realize that the tufted embossing folder is retiring, and I've been using that thing the last several days, and I really like the way that it looks. I think it gives a really nice look. So I'm just going to trim my tails. All right, so there's our bow. Get our baker's twine out of the way. All right, and let's go ahead and attach our strings. Hopefully we can get these guys to pull together. This one's not as long either, is it? I'll put him down a little bit. And then we'll put one on the gold balloon. And then we're just going to add our dimensionals again. And put 2 on each card. And I always put one, like I said, over the string just to help hold it in place. And pull these off, and then we'll get this card done. See how quick and easy these cards are, especially if you're not sitting here talking. You can knock them out in no time. So now you've got some new card ideas, You might have seen this, I hadn't seen this one before, so it's new to me, so that's why I'm showing y'all. All right, so we're going to go ahead and attach these guys to our white piece. So let's go ahead and put the gold. I want to put him in the center, and then we'll do the navy one on this side. Let's go ahead and attach this to our cardstock. So let me put the adhesive on here. Now you see it's got the Christmas paper on the back, but we can use that other side, and it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be, you know, you could even use this. You know the old, when we made the sweaters using that folder, you could make a, you know, like a man's sweater shirt or a plaid shirt, if you will, like a hunting shirt. If that doesn't scream winter, I don't, hang on a minute. It's going to go crooked again. It must be my eyeballs. Hang on. Let me get this off here. I have to stand up. Excuse me. Got to stand up to be able to see what I'm doing here. The navy doesn't help. There we go. All right, so that's on there. Go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of my balloon, so we can go ahead and attach that to the cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and put him, let me turn it around. I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? All right, so we're going to put him right about here. Put the balloons right about there. Does not that gold look nice? And then we'll trim those tails off. So we'll go ahead and do another dimensional to hold our, a glue dot to hold our little tails down. And you know, there's no right or wrong way. It's whatever y'all like, right? And we'll try it. I think I might put the bow there only because it kind of covers up that little squashy part. I don't know with the white background if the bow would make sense to put there. So I think I'm going to put it right back down here again, a little bit lower. So we'll just take another glue dot and roll that up and stick it on the back of our baker's twine. Right. Have y'all been making a lot of cards? Did you make a lot for the holidays? I got I've got all of mine out except for the one that I showed you earlier for my girlfriend, and then I've got to get her a Christmas card. So they will go out in the mail tomorrow. I think I'm going to trim these up just a little bit. But other than that, I did a lot, and now I've got so many cards made that I am now going to send them to Cards for the Soldiers, I don't remember the demonstrator's name that runs that program, but I have got 2 boxes I'm going to send her. It's probably 500 or 600 cards. Got way too many. Okay, so this is the front part. So we're going to go ahead now and attach that. Let me think about this. Is that right? I got to flip it my way to make sure. Yep, that's going to be right. Okay, so let's take off our tear and tape. I'll just use my little spatula from our pick tool. That's not, nah, forget that. I'm so used to doing my scissors, I guess because I've always done, you know how it's creatures of habit, right? Probably not always a good thing. So we'll just peel off our tape. So I guess I have better control this way. So we're going to attach this again. Bear with me, I'm going to turn it my way again so I can see. Holding it down with my thumb, I want to line up the top and make sure that they are even. I've got my thumb holding it so it doesn't drop down and stick to it until I'm ready. So we're going to get that up here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, which I didn't do on the last time, I'm going to take this piece. This is what I cut off of that 6x6 sheet, and I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4. Oh, look, I can use my little mini trimmer because it will go to 3 3/4. So we're going to cut this. I'm kind of liking this little guy. I do have the guillotine when Stampin' Up! Came out with it. And I tell you what, I love that thing. I never want to get rid of it. We'll just use this one. It'll work. We'll put this one on here. It's not as big as that one, but that's okay. So, and I'll just trim that off. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on here. See, you can always make things work. So I'll just put it right about here. And then I'm just going to tack that down, and then I'm just going to come back with my snips and cut this off. So let me turn the card back around, and we'll just snip it right up there. And there we go. Took care of that one. So that kind of dresses up the inside of the card a little bit. Now we're going to do our sentiment. We've got to do the one for the front. So I've got a little piece here, which we'll cut down as well. And I think we're going to do make this one a birthday card as well. And we're going to use the Knight of Navy. So we're going to trim that down because he's a little bit too wide. I mean, yeah, to make sure it's not crooked. All right, and that little guy pops up so you can get your thing out. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it one end at an angle. Just cut like that. And then, okay. All right. I don't know if you all are have to do everything, you know, exact the way it is. I just kind of wing it sometimes. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's how I roll. So, okay, so we're going to put our sentiment on the front. So let me go ahead and pop these off. All right, and I think I'm going to put him, you know what I should have done? I think I'm going to take this bow off. I think I'm going to put him right there. I think that's going to look better. I'm going to move the bow. I can just pull him right off. No one's going to know the difference. Let's do that. I think that's going to look much better. What do y'all think? Put him there, and then we'll just take our little bow, and we're just going to move him right up here. I think that looks much better. Okay, now we've got two sentiments we're going to stamp on the inside. And let's see, it says, happy birthday. And I'm going to put, cheers to you. I'm going to put cheers to you. And again, this is from the Itty Bitty birthday set. I'm just going to put that here. You can leave this blank if you want and just to have more writing, or I did make a card that I gave to a friend of mine the other day, just like this, but I put another set of balloons right here. So when she opened it, there was another set of balloons. So you could do that as well. Just, you know, copy this, put it here, and then you can make your sentiment down there. So this is a small one, which is okay. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna stamp this right here. It says cheers to you. All right, so we're gonna put cheers to you, and then we're gonna do the It's Your Day again. So let me close up my ink pad. Masculine birthday card, what do you think about that? Y'all like that? Isn't that an easy card to make? So that one, and look at that, using the perfect plaid, you would never know that was a Christmas paper, right? And then here is our one that we did for the female. Now, I am disappointed in myself because I should have used the Rococo Rose instead of this black. So I may end up having to change that. But again, you know, whoever receives this card is just going to be thankful that you made a card for them. So this one's the Rococo Rose for our feminine female friend, and then this one is a masculine card, and there you go. So there is our two cards fun folds for this evening. I hope you all have enjoyed this, and have a great holiday and a great New Year's. If you're out and about, drive safely, and then I will see you back whatever the week is after the first, I guess it'd be the 7th, right? 7th or 8th of January. So anyways, I'll see you in 2 weeks or so, and have a great holiday. Enjoy your time if you're off from work, and spend time with your friends and family, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, guys. Bye now.